What impact is the new ISO 19030 standard going to have on ship operators and on the industry in general?
Well, I think the major impact is that ship operators on the one side and owners on the other hand have a transparent standard which allows them to hopefully be more open in discussion on charter party contracts, on anything which is related to speed consumption relationship. Because with that standard, shipping companies then will be in a position to kind of detailedly assess what's the impact. So how much speed do I lose? And then eventually put it forward into some sort of a contract saying, okay, this year we calculate for this clause, and next year for that maybe 1 or 2% increase because of a standard degradation. I wouldn't call it a lack of transparency, but it's basically, the entire maritime industry is a very conservative, a very traditional industry, and that drive to change is something which just recently, let's say over the last 1 to 3 years has started. And that drive to change means also that, that transparency aspect is more and more coming. So early days, shipping companies would rather try to close the books, but now they are forced also from the outside, kind of being asked gently to say, hey, what's the performance of a vessel? And that means transparency, yes, it is required, and it will become even more important in the future.
What are some of the challenges? Are there challenges to implementing the standards in terms of the sensors used?
Well, the challenges, I would say, are more on the handling of sensors as such. Well, to install a torque meter is not that difficult, but it's difficult to ensure that it's well calibrated, that it's well maintained, that the people on shore using the data know how to read the data. So the sensor is such, it's rather simple, but the integration and the implementation into a shipping company, that's where we see it's a challenge. Benefits are very clear that it's what the shipping company is doing by now. So I would say 80-90% of all shipping companies still have that traditional manual ship shore noon reporting in place. And now as the standard allows to also account for those noon reports, it would mean that from the data collection point of view, nothing will change for the shipping companies. And that's a really big benefit, that they can be open, be transparent in the standard by not adjusting, not asking for any changes in the reporting line.
Would you say this new standard is just a small part of the overall drive towards using big data?
It's one tiny little element, yes. Big data, well, what is big data? It's what you make out of it. So handling massive amount of sensor-based data which you collect is one element, but if you are in a position to connect sensor data with weather data, with AIS data, with lab test fuel analytics data, that's something what we call big data, and that on the long run, on the mid-term run, then definitely put shipping companies in a position to detail assess what can I do, where can I do what to increase the overall vessel's efficiency.